So we were in the middle of reading. It's chapter 3, Bhrigu Valli, section 1, and it was verse 2. That's where we were at? Yeah. So can one of you tell the page number?
I have 264.
We were on 265.
Okay, so whichever one, it's the word starts with, the English translation is, to him, he, Varuna, again said. So I know everybody's book has different page number. Okay.
Yeah, that's 265.
Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. And then we do this Shanti part of this. If you, the new people if you have this book, then it's on page 11, the Shanti part. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavat Varyama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ratam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tadvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we saw that so far what has happened, just to connect what we are doing, that there was a person named Bhrigu whose father was self-realized, so he approaches his father and then he's saying, please teach me Brahman. And he goes it with a lot of reverence. And then Varuna says, first he tells him that food, prana, eyes, ears, mind, and the speech are Brahman, because he wants him to think. And then we were on the second one, that we already kind of did all the Sanskrit and all that. And the English translation was, to him, means to Bhrigu, the Varuna said, crave to know well. And there was a word, jigyasasva, means jigyasa jagao, about it. Crave to know well that from which these beings are born. So he gave another definition of Brahman. We saw on this earlier, the definition was Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And now he's telling him that from which these things are born, by which, having been born, these things live and continue to exist, and that into which, when departing, they all enter. So Bhagwan is the one, from everything emerges, the whole cosmos, including us, all the beings, sustains for a while, and then we merge back into him. So that entity is Brahman. And then when he heard this, and remember, he gave him two different pieces of data. He gave him, first he told him that, Annam, Pranam, Chakshu, Shotram, and Vacham. These are Brahman. And then he tells him this other factor. Take all the data, now go meditate. Meditate means contemplate, actually. And contemplation will lead into meditation, whatever. And we saw that's exactly what Bhagwan is saying. Go think about it yourself. Okay? And then Bhrigu performed the penance, and after having done penance, and then we were reading it, we did the first paragraph. And maybe we can, whoever is going to read can read that paragraph again, so that it has a continuity. Any volunteers to read?
I can, Umaji.
Okay, go ahead, Naresh.
To him, Bhrigu, he, Varuna, again said that from which these beings are born, that by which, having been born, these beings live and continue to exist, and that into which, when departing, they all enter. That's the seekest thou to know. This is Brahman. He, Bhrigu, performed penances, and after having done penances, hearing Herein we have the most scientific definition of Brahman, or the ultimate reality. The reality behind a wave can never be more exhaustively explained than that from which it has arisen, in which it exists, and into which it dissolves itself. The cause of all effects is that from which all effects arise, and during their existence, the cause continues to support the effects, and into the cause, the effects merge. When they end their separate existence as effects, thus the fundamental cause and the support of the entire pluralistic world is indicated by Varuna as the truth defined by the word Brahman.
So here, Swamiji took a slightly different approach from which everything emerges, sustains, and dissolves. He just called it cause and effect. It's basically, if you look at example, there are 3 examples they give, and all of us know those examples very well. The ocean and the waves, the mitti and the ghada, it's like the, what you call, pot and the mud and the ornaments. So the basis is gold and the ornament. You can make as many ornaments you want. It goes back to gold when you dissolve it. Like that you think about it, cause and effect. So he's just saying that the fundamental cause of the pluralistic world is that Brahman. And we saw that's exactly what Krishna Bhagavan is saying over there. And that word is penance. Penance means tapasya karna. Hindi mein bolte na tapasya karna. That's what he's talking about. So go meditate upon this, or contemplate upon it rather.
A mere definition, however philosophical it would not have been accepted by the true Hindu in Bhrigu, for to him no philosophy was acceptable unless it is practicable. Without the technique, a mere blabbering of the highest ideals will not make a satisfactory philosophy to the Hindu mind. And at the same time, the student is not in a hurry to reject the philosophy just because the philosophic truth is too big for him to swallow.
So he saw the same type of thing he told in the other Bhagavad Gita commentary also, that Arjun will not listen to something which he can't do. So okay, we can hear some philosophical fantastic idea, and if I can't get it, then what's the use? Waste of my time, That's what he's talking about, that in Upanishad, the goal is given, always the path is given also. It's a subtle path, that's why. And in this, the path is very clear. He's telling, उसने बोला भी नहीं कि जाके तपस्या करो, but ये करने लगा. But इस next verse में, अनुवाक 2 में और section 2 में वो बोलेगा, tapasya is Brahman. And then Swamiji explains why he said that. It's like when you go on a particular journey, and if you are doing the right thing, you will reach the destination. Maybe not in this life, maybe in some, you will. So that's what the whole idea. So in this paragraph, he's just saying that the Upanishads not only give you the goal, but how to get there, they tell you also.
True to this spirit, the student retires, as it were, from the presence of the Guru and performs tapas. The tapas does not mean the kind of physical sufferings which have been popularized by the mythological literature in our country. In Vedanta, the tapas is considered only as a discipline of the mind. Deep concentration of the mind is the highest tapas. According to the subtlest interpretation of the word, therefore, here Bhrigu retired to a quiet place, and through his steady contemplations, meditated upon the definition of the triad to discover what the Brahman could be as per the teacher's definition.
So Swamiji is making very clear कि तपस्या करना मतलब ये नहीं कि एक टांग पे खड़ा हो गया वो और उल्टा खड़ा हो गया पता नहीं क्या क्या, none of that, in the deepest sense. किसी को करना हो, fine. But what he's saying over here in Vedanta, when they talk about tapasya, it means deep concentration of the mind is the highest tapas. It's like even in the world, somebody was saying, okay, this, why the laborers get less money, why that guy sitting in CEO is getting that much money, right? He's doing this labor, but he's using his mind. That's why because he's employing thousands of other people. He's creating jobs for other, I'm not getting here into a debate of how much they should be paid, but that's why there is a disparity, because mind is a lot more powerful tool that the humans have. And if you use that, so that's what it's a deep concentration. The highest is the highest tapas. It's the subtlest interpretation of the word. So we are students of Vedanta. We should know what, when they say tapasya karna, what it actually means. So then that's what Bhrigu did. So he just, यहाँ पर detail में नहीं बताया है Bhrigu ने क्या किया, but he's just saying that he retired. He said, okay, it's like somebody says something and you're not totally convinced, but you have shraddha. So it's like, okay, I don't want to reject this. I don't want to accept it yet. I got to think about it. Like in English, they say, I'll sleep over it. Go and think about it. That's what he's doing. He's going and retiring and he's thinking, what did my father tell me all this data? Now I got to think about it. Yeah.
When he had contemplated sufficiently long, Bhrigu came to a certain decision which seemingly satisfied him for the time being. But when his fiery intellect, purified and sharpened for the purpose, was brought in contact with his conclusions, they seemed to melt themselves away as mist at the touch of sunlight. Therefore, he felt himself confused. The next section explains his initial conclusions and his doubts that followed. Naturally, he runs to the Guru again and again.
So he's saying that in this, we have to just kind of read between the lines, and Upanishads are very brief sometimes. So the way they said that in this verse, to understand this, that Varun told them, okay, think about this, crave to know or try to understand what's that particular entity from which everything comes out, sustains and merges. And he had said earlier a few other things. So he took all that data and now he goes and he performed penance. Penance means tapasya किया उसने. And फिर तपस्या करने के बाद वो वापस आया. स्वामी जी बता रहे next section, verse में क्या हुआ. He did come back. He came to some conclusion with that data. But he realized that his conclusions were not conclusive. Means something was missing. And so then he discusses that, hey, this is my conclusion. And he's saying, can you please teach me, because I'm not there. I don't get it still. So he came to initial conclusion, and then he had doubt about that conclusion. That's why he approached his father again and repeated the same thing. No, please teach me. जैसे कोई मैथ का डिफिकल्ट प्रॉब्लम हो और टीचर ने पूरी क्लास पूरी कर दी हो एंड द स्टूडेंट नो आई डिडंट गेट इट, गोज होम, ट्राइज, talks to his brother, talks to his father, he still didn't get it. Next day he'll go to the teacher, can you please, टीचर अच्छी होगी तो बोलेगी okay बैठ जा, मैं वापस बताती हूँ, I'll give you some more. That's what is happening to him. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके वो बढ़ रहा है आगे. But what they are stressing here, that contemplation is the only way to progress in here. Somebody cannot give you the final answer. Oh, you are Brahman, go home now. It will not do anything to him. He has to feel exactly what Urmilji was saying, that sentence, that I have to feel inside me that, this is my experience. And he's helping him to gain that experience by slowly giving him some doses so he goes and thinks about it. That's what the whole thing is. Okay, so we'll have to stop here before we go to the next one. But any question or comment? Anybody want us to add anything?
That's flowery language, like mist at a touch of sunlight.
Yeah, they seem to melt themselves away as a mist in the touch of sunlight. कितनी फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज. तो उसने जो कंक्लूजन किया ना, तो उसको अपना ही कंक्लूजन में डाउट होने लगा. That's what they're trying to show. That's the language he used. कि अच्छा, this sounds good. No, it doesn't. Something is missing. I don't have it yet. That's why I use that. Yeah. I think that Swami ji का जो language और उनका जो style है ना, it grows upon you slowly. I remember when I first first time sat in the study group, मेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. I got so scared. I said, these people, they know all these things. I don't know anything, because the language itself scared me. It was so hi-fi. Dhire, 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 I got used to it, So that's what it is. Yeah. Any other point before we close? Anybody wants to? Sheila ji.
Which book are you following?
Okay.
And
So
the
this is
author-
Taittriya Upanishad. I will put a picture of it, or I think Urmil ji knows it. She can. So there are two ways to get. You can get it online. You might be able to get it from Amazon. I'm not sure. Or I can pick it up for you from Chinmaya Mission. Because if you order online, you have to pay some mailing cost and all that. Here I can get it like without that. And I can bring it for you. So just whoever doesn't have it, if they want to have the book, then let me know and I can help them.
And that's for the Taittriya Upanishad.
Yeah, and
But
for
for Gita there is separate, yeah.
Gita, there is what they have done in Chinmaya Mission, Swamiji's, there is one Holy Gita, which is one whole book, but this particular one is chapter by chapter, and that has a little more commentary in it. So we follow this. Yeah, Urmilji has that. That will do also. But if you don't have that, I recommend to get this one. Because the other good part about this is each chapter is separate. So if you want to take it with you somewhere in doctor's office or plane or something, it's easier. Yeah.
If you text me the title of it.
Yeah, I will. I can text you directly all the information. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Any other thing that anybody has before I close? Okay. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhya moksha ishyami ma shuchah. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Oh, very important announcement. We won't have class next week because we have to get fumigation done in our house. So I have to be out and all that. And I have a lot of things to do before. So sorry about that. We won't have the class next week, but the following week we will definitely. God willing. Yeah. So, okay. So see you guys in 2 weeks.
Hey, everyone.
Hari Om.
Thank you.